Hey guys, it's me, Rohi. So today in this video, I'm going to be explaining the product rule of calculus. As you guys all know, derivatives are a huge part of calculus, and oftentimes it asks for the product of two different functions, and it asks you to find the derivative of them. So today in this video, I'm going to explain how. So the product rule states that in order to, let's say this is the given problem, the derivative, it asks you to find the derivative of f of x times g of x. So the derivative would equal the first original function times the derivative of the second function plus the derivative of the first function times the second function. As you guys can see, this rule is pretty simple. There's not much to it, but I can go through an example so that you guys have an idea of how to actually do this. So let's say it asks for d of x of x to the fourth times cosine of x is equal to. So let's say this is the problem given. So you take the derivative of the second function. So the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. So negative sine x times x to the fourth, because you keep that first function the same, plus you take the derivative of the first function, which is 4x cubed, times you keep the second function the same. So that would be cosine of x. So when the final derivative of this function would be x to the fourth and negative, because there's a negative sign here, negative x to the fourth sine of x plus 4x cubed cosine of x. As you guys can see, that was pretty simple. So now we're going to go into the quotient rule. This is a little bit different and a little bit more complicated, but I know you guys can do it. Okay, so let's say this is the given problem. I'm just going to go over the basic rule for this, just given two different functions. So this is f of x divided by g of x. So whenever I try to do the quotient rule, I always remember it's a saying my teacher said, which is low. So just the lower function times the derivative of the high minus high, which is f of x, times the derivative of the low, which is g prime of x, all over low, which is g of x, g squared. So that would be g squared of x. As you guys can see, that was pretty simple. Just remember, I can go through this thing again. Low times the derivative of the high minus high times the derivative of the low, all over low squared. So now we can go through the same problem that we had in the product rule, which was x to the fourth and then cosine x, but this time they're going to be divided. So x to the fourth divided by cosine of x. So we're going to go low times the derivative of the high, 4x cubed, minus high times the derivative of the low, which is negative sine x, all over cosine x squared, low squared. So if we simplify this, it'd be dx of x to the fourth divided by cosine of x is equal to 4x cubed cosine x plus, since it's a negative times a negative, sine x times x to the fourth divided by cosine x squared. So that's how to do the product rule and the quotient rule. It was pretty simple. I gave you guys a few examples. Here's the quotient rule if you want to screenshot that if you're a little bit still a little bit confused. And then here's the product rule. So that was it for now. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope I was helpful. Bye.